Good afternoon, everyone. We'll just wait for a few more seconds, so you can have everything neatly organized, prepared for this interactive and informative webinar. Also, encourage you to introduce yourself in the chat. What type of business? What have you been in business or planning to start a business? I want to know where in your business life cycle you're at this moment, so that we could definitely discuss it and have the conversation through the webinar. Also, if you do have some questions, I strongly encourage you to put them in the Q&A, and throughout the presentation, I will be more than happy to answer them on your behalf as well. Today's webinar is being recorded, so if you have to step out, answer a phone, don't worry, or want to go back to a particular slide, all participants will be receiving today's presentation, the video recording, and also the link through our YouTube channel where we have all the events that we have recorded, and we have them there at the library. So you could definitely participate and view some of the webinars that we have done. And also, if you're interested to meet with our business consultants, we'll be more than happy to connect you with those respected consultants. So once again, I want to thank you all for attending today's webinar. Once again, my name is Jesus Padilla. I am from the Florida SBDC at FIU. So a brief description of what is the Miami-Dade Business Navigator Program. It is funded through a cooperative agreement with the U.S. Small Business Administration, in which it was established in part of the Rescue Plan Act of 2021 to assist you, the small business owners, in the economic recovery, in which this program is comprised as a lead hub, which is in this case of Florida SBDC at FIU. It's comprised, once again, with a network of spoke organizations that deploy the community advocates to work with the small businesses during the economic recovery. Along with the Florida SBDC at FIU, we have 6 other organizations that can assist you at no cost to you. If it's access to capital, credit repair, business planning, operations, government contracting, we have respected organizations that can assist you on that regard. We have Ascendis, branches, the EDC of South Miami-Dade, Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, Lospeda, and Starp FIU Procurement. So once again, all these 7 organizations are available to assist you at no cost to you. In the chat, you will be receiving the link in case if you want to meet with our business navigators, schedule a meeting, more information. Our website will also be provided, along with once again the YouTube link from today's presentation. Overall, it was to create that local community navigator approach in the 3 buckets. In the 3 buckets, to assist is in the consulting, the mentoring, and training for businesses that are located here in Miami-Dade County. If your business is located outside of Miami-Dade County, like in Broward, Monroe, and Palm Beach, we're more than happy to assist you. Now, if your business is located outside that jurisdiction, don't worry, feel free to email us, and I'll put my email in the chat right now. And I'll be more than happy to connect you with your local SBDC or small business resource partner. So I did see one question in regards of the patent community. Yes, so pretty much we don't provide that area because it's more towards the legal side. The legal is outside the scope of our services, but I will put my email address in the chat. So like that, you could send me an email and I'll be able to provide you the information of our resource partners in the legal side. So once again, my name is Jesus Padilla. I'm the program manager here at the Florida SBDC at FIU, and I have worked in the center for over 6 years. I have co-consulted in the marketing and startup assistance by providing those innovative tips to entrepreneurs on what would it take to be a successful business. I am just like you. I have that entrepreneurial spirit, as I have multiple successful side hustles, along with I am a 3-time alum of here at FIU. Oftentimes, we have clients ask me, Jesus, why do I enjoy doing what I do? It's easy. I enjoy assisting you, the entrepreneurs, to start and successfully launch your businesses to create that economic impact in the community. At the same time, we'll be discussing multiple avenues, different objectives, terminologies, but here is everything's condensed into two different areas or two different objectives. It is the objective one, it is discuss the entrepreneurship, what makes you a successful entrepreneur, and what strategies to turn an idea into a business. At the same time, the objective number two is those key steps and resources to start the business the right way. There's different avenues, different ways to start the business, but having those key resources, starting the right way, definitely will help you for the path for success. Full disclosure, I am not a lawyer, I'm not a legal professional, I'm not an accountant. So this information is intended to provide an overall approach of how to start the business. We're not be covering all different scenarios, circumstances, as no two businesses or two industries are the same. So I strongly encourage you to go more in depth to discuss any legal tax obligations for your venture to the respected professional on that matter. So in the chat, definitely encourage you to write how did you get started in starting your business? Was it a business idea? Already have that experience? Is it a family-owned business and now you're the next generation? So where did you start your entrepreneurial journey? Okay, I got one in terms of another second generation idea phase. Okay. Okay. Previous experience. Perfect. Yeah. So there's different areas where to get started. Turning the hobby into a business. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So there's different avenues. So just think of it as you're building a house with the four walls. You need those four walls to have a stable foundation for the venture. So we're going to go with the very basic and then start to grow organically. So entrepreneurship is the activity or setting up businesses to take on that financial risk for the hope of profit. So in other words, entrepreneurs are risk takers. So part of today's presentation is helping you to take that risk, but to make more of a calculated risk. Because if your hope is not to generate profit, I think setting a business or businesses is not that route for you. Everyone wants to make profit. So by doing so, we have to have those calculated risk and then fully analyze how you're able to be successful in that approach. As such, we have some famous entrepreneurs that have failed and also took those risks, and they have definitely succeeded. Look at Fred Smith with FedEx. His Yale professor gave him a C for his paper on a new freight service. Henry Ford, the first two companies failed. Hamdi Olakaya, his company was barely breaking even when he sought financing to buy a craft yogurt plant. So and these are big firms, but they have to start somewhere. What's interesting is that FedEx and Chobani Yogurt, they actually obtained the funds through the SBA. So you too could obtain some funds, but at the same time, you have to show the capacity, the capability, and the scalability of your business venture. Oftentimes, entrepreneurs they want to take that risk, and it's for many reasons. It could be the opportunity, profit, independence, the challenge. Like for me personally, one of my main reasons is so I could have that financial freedom, so I could definitely travel a little bit more or take my wife to nice vacations. Everyone has their purpose as to why they're launching their business. How about you in the chat? Definitely put what's your reason for launching your business. It could be for a legacy, it could be side hustle money, it could be whatever your heart desires. I just want to know more in the chat. Financial independence, perfect. Generational wealth. Yep. That's definitely crucial right now. Yes. Travel with the family. Yeah. So everyone has their why along with their purpose as well in terms of taking those risks. But at the same time, by taking those risks, you have to fully understand and have what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. You already know the journey or the destination per se, but now what is the journey? Well, the journey is you have to be self-directed, action-oriented, highly energetic, along with the tolerance of uncertainty. Look what has happened in the last 3 years when COVID started. The tolerance of uncertainty, you didn't know what was happening, but by being action-oriented, you're able to pivot to see what is the marketplace is telling you. So you could definitely go where your clients are at. Or perhaps look for new clients that will definitely benefit from the products or services that you're providing. So by being highly energetic and self-directed, you have that discipline to be ready to go and tackle whatever is at hand. At the same time, here's some areas where you could learn about entrepreneurship. You learn from others, network. You're here at this exciting webinar. That's a good opportunity for you to enhance the word of conversation of entrepreneurship, talk to other successful entrepreneurs. What is the good, the bad, the ugly in the industry? But at the same time, you're able to collaborate, share new ideas, some best practices that you could definitely take part of. It could be something in the terms of leadership, how to retain my existing workers. At the same time, get some experience, gain 3 years experience in the field, then start part-time to start the business. So you want to be, you want to dip your toes first before you jump in a cannonball to make sure that water is good. I also take over a successful firm, serve an apprentice, eventually take over once the owner steps down. You could purchase an established business, a franchise. So there's different avenues how you could learn about entrepreneurship, but at the same time, you're gathering the necessary research to make the full plunge. At the same time, this is where you have to ask yourself these 5 key questions of your business. Is there a market need? Will it be scalable? Are you going to be generating profit? How's that window of opportunity? Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? What is it? And how long is it sustainable? So let's use an example right now. Beepers. Is there a big need for beepers at this moment? Will I be able to generate a good decent amount of profit on a consistent basis? How's that window of opportunity? Is it decreased dramatically with other competing factors like as such an iPhone or cell phones or any other availability? Is it sustainable? So exactly. So this is not a good opportunity for me to be in that marketplace. But if I definitely was in the beeper industry 30, 35 years ago, yes, absolutely, the beepers were in. But it's all about, are you in the right time for your business? So by gathering the necessary research, like that, you're able to focus on how you're able to be successful. But at the same time, perhaps the market's not ready for your product services yet. But how can you do it to be there, ready to go when that marketplace is opening doors for you? Also, once again, you don't need to create a new product or service from scratch. Some successful businesses, they create those product services themselves. They brought those new strategies and innovations to that existing marketplace. So oftentimes we know about the Amazon with the traditional bookstores, the Walmart with the retail stores, but at the same time, like a good one would be Samsung. Samsung nowadays, it's more in the tech realm, the washer and dryers, the cell phones, the technological areas. But what's interesting is that they actually started as a dried fish import export companies to China. So look how they were able to be innovative and provide new strategies in that existing marketplace. So from one end of the spectrum to the other, that's how they're able to be successful along the journey. Along, once again, you don't need to invent something new in terms of have low costs or identify. You can also identify the competitor weakness and market opportunities to create that competitive advantage. Same time, you don't want to price yourself too low based on the cost because you won't be making profit or breaking even. But at the same time, it's the perception. How is that quality if you're offering it? If everyone's offering it $5 and you're offering it for 50 cents, what is the perception of the brand and the quality that you're providing? So you want to have that Goldilocks or the sweet spot of having a good pricing model for that business model for the products or services that you're providing. So you could raise your hand, you could put it in the chat. I want you to feel comfortable. Do you have a business idea or a business startup that it's up and running that will disrupt the marketplace? Services, okay, perfect. Yep, I see some questions. Yep, I see some hands raised. Perfect. Yep. So here's what we talked about the four walls of the house. These are your four walls. These are the four key steps to starting it right. It's the idea, having what you have in mind, how you're able to put it on paper, what you need, don't need, just put it on paper, along with the planning phase. What do you need to accomplish and mold that venture? The financing, which is the most important aspect, and along with launching your business venture. So these are four key walls to have a successful startup. What's interesting is that we do have some upcoming webinars and workshops in planning and also access to capital as well. On Thursday, we're actually having one financing your small business. So we'll be putting all the upcoming events in the chat and also within the email as well. So like that will be, so you could be up to date with the next upcoming events. Okay. So by planning your business, you need to have a good, strong foundation. To do so, you need to focus on these three areas. Understanding your market, along with developing the business model and creating a business plan. Don't worry if you don't know how to develop a business plan or it's overwhelming. Don't worry, we have consultants that can assist you in those key areas. Okay. So first, we're going to start off with understanding the market. So what is the market? So it is the consumers who are with unsatisfied needs and wants, who have both the resources and willingness to buy from you. As an entrepreneur, you should set out to fill out the market needs by offering top quality along with great service at a fair price. So once again, know that landscape. Why are they not happy? And how can you offer them a great service by giving them the wow factor? So think of it like this. In the small businesses, think of them as canoes on a channel or on a canal. It's easier for you to make a 3-point turn as opposed doing it a cruise ship, doing a 3-point turn on a small strait. So by you being a small business, you have the ability to know the market and quickly adapt to the market needs. So if everyone's asking that we want this, you're able to go quickly, as opposed to big business. It's harder for them to move to that part of marketplace. Okay. Is there any questions so far? Okay. In my MBA, I had to pick one particular business. In this business, I decided to select 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven, the founder had a perfect understanding of the market. It was giving the customers what they want, when and where they want it. So look at the United States. In the United States, it was grab snacks, drinks on everyday products on the go. But look at Indonesia. It's a trending hotspot where young people hang out, spend time, surf the web, and meet friends. In addition, in Taiwan, you're able to service a bicycle and make photocopies. So by understanding the marketplace, your business, you're able to pivot in those particular areas. So for example, if you want to have an ice cream shop in one particular area of the county or country, will be definitely different versus another part of the country. And that would be the same exact thing for the city, based on different products and services or offerings, based on different messaging and also distribution channels as well. As noted, by gaining the full direct experience with the market, by working the industry, in networking with peers in the industry, or obviously understanding the existing businesses, you're able to have a full, clear cut who are the key players, what's the good, the bad, the ugly. But at the same time, if you don't have access to none of these information, don't worry. We have access on that. We could definitely assist you. We have consultants that will provide the market research, the industry analysis, the publications, so you have a better understanding as how you're able to be part of that existing and competing marketplace. Okay, and also in the chat there is the link for to request to meet with our business consultants, so they could definitely guide you with the next steps. So at the same time, take advantage of some of the additional public databases, as such the U.S. Census Bureau, the Federal Reserve, and the Department of Labor. Also, the SBA has really good websites that could definitely assist you with a full understanding of a competitive analysis. So definitely take advantage of these websites, but at the same time, our consultants will be able to guide you through those aspects as well. Yes, and then I do have two questions right here. One of them is to request for consultation. In the chat, there is a link for you to request for consultation. If not, I'll definitely put it in I'll put my email. Okay. Okay, so in the chat, I already put the link for the request for consultation. And then where to find the industry research? Well, it all determines based on what industry you're in. So definitely strongly encourage you to register so that our consultants will be able to go in more information with what type of industry analysis, the competitors, the heavy players in that area. Because once again, no two industries, no two businesses are the same. So by having that one-on-one consulting, they will be able to assist you on that side. Because it can also be the use of the Census Bureau. So for example, let's do a daycare. I want to open a daycare in Doral. Okay, so let's have an understanding. Okay, how many daycares are within a 5-mile radius in the city of Doral? There's 20. But how long are my direct competitors that are within a 2-block radius? So right there, I'm able to analyze, okay, what's the demographics? What are they offering that I'm not offering? So right there, you have a full understanding. But at the same time, if you want to open up a daycare at a community that is a 55 and over, there's going to be no children in that area. So are you really planning to have a daycare in that location? So by having a full understanding, okay, what's the trends and the demographics, that's how you're able to have a full understanding as to the research along with the marketing efforts on that front. Now, today's presentation is being recorded, so all participants will be able to receive the presentation and along with the YouTube link. So definitely encourage you to like and subscribe as well. In terms of the energy and infrastructure, we do have some consultants that could definitely go more in depth on that side as well. Okay, because it ultimately is based on what is the end goal. Is it more for government contracting? Is it more for marketing the business? So by having that one-on-one conversation with them, they'll be able to create that roadmap with you. Exactly. Yep. And also the same thing, dealerships, where's the population? Like if you can have a car dealership that is not located within a particular area and there's not many people living there or driving by, might be a little bit difficult. So what car, have a full understanding based on the demographics, so you can have the pricing standpoint. And then, yes, absolutely agree. It's knowing if your business is needed in a certain area. You don't want to be by yourself, but sometimes it could be a good opportunity because you never know where the market is taking you. But if you're going to be in a marketplace that is oversaturated, there's 5 ice cream shops in 1 block radius, and it's right next to you. Okay, that's going to be pretty difficult to have a nice competitive advantage. And this is where it comes in to play. What's the potential demand? What's the market size? What's your market competition? The economic indicators, the location, the pricing. So all of these areas could definitely help you factor for you to understand the market. If I'm going to open up the ice cream shop and I want to have it in a high-rise building in the 16th floor, but there's no parking, odds are you will not be interested to buy my ice cream, even though it's the best one in town. But if I have that pleasant experience, that I'm pricing it at your price, because if I price it too high, I might exclude you. If I price it too low, okay, what's the perception once again of that brand, of the quality that I'm offering? But it's all about having the Goldilocks of these key aspects will definitely help you to be a successful understanding of the marketplace. And then in terms of the legal support for licensing, law, and other permits, we got, depends what type of permits you're discussing, also what licensing. So like that we'll be able to have the area where we could provide the assistance, and also who we could refer the particular ask. If it's more legal, we could definitely provide you the legal referral resource partners that we have on via email. But definitely encourage you to shoot us an email, and I'll be more than happy to assist you with those next steps. But at the same time, while developing the business model, you need to have the 2 key elements: the value proposition and the go-to-market strategy. So in the value proposition, it is the clear understanding and compelling statement what unique value you're bringing to the marketplace. It cannot be, we're the best ice cream shop in Miami. But at the same time, you want to provide what's the uniqueness that you're providing. This is where you have to do a self-assessment and self-analysis with these sample questions. What do you offer to the consumer or the customer? What are the needs that you're satisfying? And how are you different from the competition? This is one key area where you have to be honest, be vulnerable, but at the same time, that's where the unveiling of the curtain, the onion, comes into play. Oftentimes we have clients that says, our value proposition is that we're going to be offering anything and everything to our customers. We're satisfying all of their needs, and how we're different, we're the best ones, or we have no competition. That's going to be pretty difficult to justify of the uniqueness of the value that you bring into the marketplace. Because if you have no competition, it's because there might not be a marketplace for you. Having good competition is also good for you. Along with the value proposition, here's the go-to-market strategy. It is those tactable steps in terms of achieving your value proposition and setting you apart yourself from the competition, but at the same time is being consistent with your marketing strategy. It's the step-by-step process, how you're going to get your products to the end users, and outline those pricing models. If it's going to be a subscription base, is it a monthly base, a yearly, seasonal, one time? This is where you're able to have that business model and pretty much that roadmap of your business. The good thing is that since this is a recorded and all participants will be receiving today's presentation, here's some helpful links. So you could definitely enhance go more in depth of the go-to-market strategy, the value propositions, definitely business plans. It's overwhelming, it's scary, but don't worry. We also have some webinars in terms of how to develop a business plan. We have consultants that can assist you with the business plan. So definitely don't be intimidated. We're family, we serve as strangers, believing as family. Anything that we could do to assist you, we're a phone call and email away. bplans.com is a really good website for you to start having like an outline or a small roadmap in terms of to enhance that business plan that you would like to develop. Once again, this is where the majority of our clients lose track when it's drafting the business plan. So don't let the idea of drafting a business plan delay your opportunity to move forward. So let's focus to get the idea out of your head and start putting it in paper. Same time, you need to focus. What is the end goal of your business plan? Is it for business partners? Is it for investors? Is it more for the day-to-day business operations? So having a clear understanding as to who you'll be addressing this business plan to is a good opportunity for you to have the know and the why you're doing this for. So just a show of hands, or you could put it in the chat, who has developed a business plan, have started, never finished it. I just want to get a gauge of your business planning experience. Okay, started, never finished it. You're working on one, none. Okay, don't worry, don't there's no judgment here. We're in it together. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, I like it. Yeah, so no worries. What's interesting is that we actually have done some webinars of developing a business plan. It's also on our YouTube channel. Definitely shameless plug, like and subscribe. But at the same time, in the fall, we're gonna be having a business planning webinar as well. So right there, you could definitely enhance and those key questions in how to develop the business plan. It definitely molds the path. So it's asking you the key questions. So as an example, for those who haven't started yet, but I could give you an idea. Okay, who are your customer segments? Who are going to be your primary and secondary markets? Who are you going to be selling it to? And then what are some goals for the next 5 years? So by having that conversation, you're able to start plugging and playing and putting all the format together. Perfect. I completely agree. Yes, we're here to assist you. Okay. There you go. You see, it's all about collaboration. There's a business planning webinar at 6 o'clock today. So definitely, if you have that link, definitely encourage you to put it in the chat so others could definitely participate. At the same time, here is a business model canvas. This is not a business plan, but definitely helps you to put the ideas on paper. These are some of the key concepts and key areas that to develop a business plan. This is where it has to be under in one of these key boxes. The key partners, the key activities, or the key resources. Once again, the value proposition we talked about, the channels of distribution, the customer segments. By having all of these questions, you could definitely are able to mold that business plan as well. Same time, here's some additional links to enhance the business plan, the business model canvas. So definitely encourage you to take advantage of these links because at the end of the day, this will definitely help you to be successful as well. Same time, you have to have a good and effective executive summary to catch the reader's interest. So you could draw potential bankers, investors, so they could continue to read on. So once again, have the business plan is tailored to that specific audience. So once again, additional business plans for you. Yes, in terms of the links, if it's for the webinar for tonight, definitely put it in the chat. But if it's the actual links from the actual presentation, you will be receiving this presentation. So you could definitely click on it. And then on the third on the third tab, it's the financing. This is one of the key areas. So before that you actually launch your website, open the doors, have the bills to pay, have a good calculation of your startup expenses. It could be the business, depending on the business, it could be brick and mortar, the service, or if it's going to be online. So definitely encourage you to go ahead and have a full calculation as to how much you're going to be needed for your startup expenses. So in doing so, anticipate, if it's going to be one-time expense, if it's going to be monthly, as such, the inventory, the equipments, the insurance, salaries. So if you calculate at least 1 year of monthly expenses of projecting to 3 to 5 years, it's even better. So that it flows within the business plan. Along, in terms of creating the balance sheets and the financials spreadsheets, definitely the SBA has a really good link that could definitely assist you with the plug and play for your financials. So right there, you don't have to be overwhelmed how to do it. Like I said, we have consultants that can assist you with the financial management, so you can fully understand your books as to how you're gonna be able to do it. And then at the same time, some of you have started the business with bootstrapping in terms of saving some of the money, your personal finances, so you could start the business. At the same time, it could be you may have won the lottery, or you want to put all eggs in one basket from your retirement savings. So bootstrapping is one of the best ways to start and fund the business, because right there you're able to retain the ownership and control the direction of the business. But we talked about earlier in the conversation of the calculated risks. So just be aware that this method, you assume all the risk, impacts your personal finances, and could delay retirement if you're not careful. So by calculating the risks and being conservative on the startup costs, you're able to have everything in order. Along with some of the sources of funding, we have the financing options, includes the family, friends, and fools, the mission-based lenders, the government agencies, as such, the SBA, the banks and finance companies, the crowdfunding, angel investors, venture capitalists. Also, if you're looking for a microloan, we have Ascendis and other CDFIs in the community that we could definitely assist you, introduce you to. At the same time, if you're looking more for the fully understand what the lenders are looking for, we have some upcoming events that we could definitely assist you on that side, so you could have a prior understanding, some knowledge, the lingos, so like that you'll be able to have an enhanced conversation with the respective lenders. Okay, in terms of the grants, it varies. There are some grants out there, but it's far and wide in between as a rarity. But there are some grants that our consultants, they can assist you and do research, because it alters based on the industry, and also the community, the county as well, or municipality, if they have any additional grants that are out there. So Gustavo, definitely encourage you to register at our center through the Navigator program, and our consultants will be able to guide you on that side. And then for those who haven't started the business yet, or incorporated the business, or planning to incorporate, I'm sorry, these are the 4 major forms of business ownership. The sole proprietor, it's a one-person operation, while the partnership is 2 or more people legally agreed to become co-owners of the business, while the corporation is a legal entity with authority to act and have liability apart from its owners. The common one is the LLC that protects you, the business owner. from the personal liability that any debts the business incurs. So it's two separate entities. So definitely, like I said, I'm not a legal professional, I'm not an accountant. So definitely encourage you to touch base with your respected professionals that will be able to fully assist you in answering those some of the key questions. But we do have consultants that can give you the knowledge, the know-how, on that side once you're ready to register the business and also the what's next conversation. So definitely encourage you to register to meet with our consultants, along with we could definitely give you some additional information of the accountants and legal professionals as well. Yeah, in terms of the question of mechanical prototypes, um it's best if you send us an email and we could talk more offline. Okay. Okay. So then at the same time, um this is where you're able to touch base. Like I said, no two businesses are the same, no two industries are the same. So consult with an accountant or attorney for guidance and considerations of your venture. Because perhaps you and I might be in the same industry of ice cream, but perhaps for you it might be better for a corporation, for me and an LLC. So it varies. So having a clear understanding, right there, you'll be able to be successful. Because perhaps there's like, oh, I want to do an LLC just for the sake of it. No, there's pros and cons for everything. Perhaps for you it might be best suited for a sole proprietorship. So it varies. So definitely that conversation will definitely assist you with any concerns that you might have on that side. In terms of how to search for the name of the business, SunBiz. It's through the state of Florida. Definitely encourage you to do research beforehand. Because oftentimes it could be like I want to have, Jesus lemonade stand, and I look it up on SunBiz and it's a similar name of Jesus lemons. So, and it's not active, or the name is almost similar, it's been active. I don't want to be connotation that we're the similar business or the same business with two different business names. So being separated, that is a unique business name, definitely stands out. Same time, you have to be careful because it could be the business practice of that business that has a similar name. What are their business model? You don't be associated or to have that connotation as well. So being mindful in terms of doing the research ahead of time definitely goes a long way. This is one of the first step that you need to start looking for a name of business. Oftentimes you have clients that started their website first and then they realize they cannot do the website or establish the business name because it's already taken on SunBiz. So definitely we have consultants that can do a full checklist, what is needed in an effective 13 steps. Also, this is where is one area that is really important. The EIN. The EIN number, it is like, just think of it as a social security of the business. We have consultants that can assist you with the startup resources, the information, how to obtain the EIN, because at the end of the day, it's going to be beneficial by obtaining a business bank loan, opening a business bank accounts, the tax and reporting purposes of the business. So having that EIN is really crucial and instrumental in terms of the permits and licensing that is needed as well. At the same time, it's a good opportunity for you to do research in your municipality, in the county, to obtain the occupational use certificate, the local business tax receipt. These are really important permits that our consultants will can guide you. So you could be successful, because at the same time, you don't want to be penalized because time is money. In the same time, you want to be generating money instead of paying the fines. If you're not in compliance on that side. Definitely, right here, we definitely put some upcoming additional resources, developing the business plan, searching for the SunBiz registration. The SBA has some really good um information on the website of small business information, the resources, how to guides. At the same time, the Miami-Dade County business website, starting a business, what is needed, what permits. You could definitely um start like that is needed in your area, and also the regulations that you need for the state of Florida. Okay. And then we'll be opening up the questions in a few seconds. So so that give you sufficient time to start put it in the chat. But then at the same time, this is a good opportunity for you to start connecting with us. Definitely encourage you to visit our website, miamibusinessnavigator.com. We have a plethora of upcoming events. It's part of our summer small business initiative. So pretty much almost every day throughout the summer, we'll be having an event. So definitely encourage you to register as many, attend as many, um, share this information to any small business owner that you know that could definitely benefit. Pretty much, we're here to assist you. Anything that you need, we're an email, phone call away. Definitely like and subscribe our YouTube channel, follow us on our social media channels. Definitely email us, as we're more than happy to assist you any way that we can. And then at the same time, if you're interested to meet with our business navigators, you could definitely scan the QR code, and our consultants will be able to assist you. But at the same time, in the chat as well has the link to schedule a meeting with our navigator team, along with some of our coming events that we have this week and next week, that it carries over the conversation we had today. Um, on Wednesday, we're having a social media marketing class or webinar. I'm sorry. Then the following same time next week, on the 17th, 10 steps to marketing your new business. The following class, it's marketing 101. So it's enhancing. Okay, you started, what now? This is how you're able to market your business. And also we'll be putting on the 13th, we have a webinar in financing your business as well. So I'll be able to email you the information as well. So like that you could definitely participate. So like I said, any questions, concerns, don't hesitate. Give us a call. We're more than happy to assist you. I'm also going to be putting the link for our events, for the events link. So definitely encourage you to go. The website is go.fiu.edu/events. And right there, you'll see all the calendar events that we have going on for the rest of the summer. So anything we could do, you just let us know. We're more than happy to assist you. And if you have any questions, encourage you to put them in the chat. Okay. Okay. In terms of Bob Hacker, email me and we'll be able to do the introduction. Primarily, we don't work with them, but we could do a virtual introduction and help you out on that side. In terms of any business insurance company questions, suggestions, I'm sorry, it varies based on the industry. So definitely, what we could do is one of our consultants can give you the information that could definitely help you out. That'll be one of our startup consultants. Because it could be like, like you might be dealing with biohazard materials or food or construction. So like everything, it all varies. So definitely our consultants will be able to provide you the necessary information. Okay. All right. Are there any additional questions or comments, concerns that we could be of assistance? Oh, sorry about that. All right, you're welcome. Perfect. I like that. Yeah. So definitely, once we receive your inquiry, our consultants will be able to carry the conversation and have that meeting with you. Perfect. Yep. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. That's what I'm here for. Provide the knowledge, experience, the resources to connect you. Just have me as a extra tool for your toolbox. Any way we can to help you out. Yes. In terms of, don't worry if you're late. Don't worry. Um, yes. We'll be emailing out the participants the video recording along with the presentation as well. So if there's any particular slide or any additional question, don't hesitate. You could send me an email and we'll talk more in depth about that particular slide. So that's not an issue. Thank you. No problem. Okay. If there's no additional questions, I want to thank you all. Oh, let me see. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So if there's any additional questions, by all means, I strongly encourage you to put it in the chat, as I'm more than happy to answer it for you. But definitely, like I said, I look forward to seeing you at our next webinars and anything that we can. Like I said, we're family, and I'm here to assist you to anywhere I can. So thank you, and have a good afternoon. Take care, everyone.